Okay, so this is the second part of our metric system notes and dimensional analysis video. So we're going to talk about dimensional analysis. So I'm going to show you a process called dimensional analysis that we use to convert units in science. We will apply this process of dimensional analysis to the conversion between the different metric units. Okay, so really this is just a fancy way of converting units. So if I have a measurement in feet, I can convert it into centimeters. Or if I have a measurement in kilometers, I can convert it to meters. Okay, it's just a way for us to convert numbers between different units. Okay, so conversion factors are numbers that are used to change from one unit to another. Conversion factors are formed from equalities that state a relationship between two units. For example, 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. This is a conversion factor. If I was trying to convert something from kilometers to meters, I can use this conversion factor to help me do that. Okay? When conversion factors are used properly, all units will divide out or cancel out except the unit being converted to. That's going to make more sense in a minute once we've gone through and done an example. Okay, so we're going to solve a problem using dimensional analysis. Our question says, how many kilometers are equal to 250 meters? If you look at your packet, we are at part E. It has the same question. How many kilometers are equal to 250 meters? Okay, so there are several steps that we're going to follow. The first step when we solve a problem using dimensional analysis is we need to start with what we're given in the problem. So if we look at the problem, you can see that we have a measurement. We have 250 meters and we're trying to convert that to kilometers. Okay, that's our conversion that we're trying to do. Okay, nope, I don't want pencil color. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do, so we have to put things in. So we're going to take that number, 250 meters, and we're going to put it up here in the upper left corner. Okay, that's what we're starting with. We're trying to get this to a measurement in kilometers. So the next step is we have to decide what conversion factor we're going to need. We need a conversion factor that will get us kilometers, but also has meters as part of it. This is going to be a simpler piece of dimensional analysis. So we are going to take that conversion factor and place the unit on the bottom that will cancel the previous step. We want to get rid of meters because we want to get kilometers. So we need something with meters on the bottom. If we remember back to those notes we took just a moment ago, we saw that 1,000 meters is equal to a kilometer. So I'm going to put 1,000 meters, and you can abbreviate this with just an M on the bottom. And then I'm going to put 1 kilometer on the top. When I do my math, okay, to do this, anything that goes across, we are going to multiply. So we're going to take 250 meters and we're going to multiply them by 1 kilometer. And then when we get to the bottom, we're going to divide by what's on the bottom. Now, we only have one thing on the bottom. So once we have an answer for this, which if we're taking a number by 1, it stays that number, then we're going to divide it by this. Okay, notice that we have meters here and meters here. When we take a meters divided by meters, they're going to cancel out. And look, we're left with kilometers, which is the unit we want to get into. Okay, when we do that math, we are going to get an answer here of 0.250 kilometers. 250 divided by 1,000 is 0.250 kilometers. Okay, now you might be thinking, man, I'm really not getting this. We're going to try a couple more together, and then I'll show you a site that you're going to go to do your other sheet to help you learn how to do this. All right, we are going to convert 0.044 kilometers to meters. We're going to take our number that we already know, and we're going to put it in the upper left corner. Now we need a conversion. We're going to use the same one we just did, but we're going to change it. We want to get rid of kilometers, so kilometers has to go on the bottom. So 1 kilometer is going to go on the bottom. We're converting to meters, so meters is going to go on the top. 1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. This will cancel out our kilometers. So on our calculator, we're going to take 0.044 and we're going to multiply it by 1,000. And when we do, we get 44 meters. Go ahead and pause your video and try doing the next one, converting 4.6 milligrams to grams, and then unpause and hear the answer. Okay, so we're going to take 4.6 milligrams, put that in the upper left corner. Milligrams, we do the same kind of conversions we do with meters, millimeter and meter, milligrams and grams. Okay, there are 1,000 milligrams in a gram. Because I have milligrams here, I need milligrams on the bottom. 1,000 milligrams. And I'm converting it to grams on the top. Okay, 4.6 milligrams times 1 divided by 1,000 gives me 0.0046 grams. All right, last one that we're going to do. I know that your page shows a number 4. You can cross that one off. Pause the video. Try this one. Okay, so we're going to start with what we know, 0.079 years. Okay, we're trying to get to seconds. So we need to break this down into seconds. So I got to think, okay, year, I could break that down into days. So I want to get rid of years. So year is going to go on the bottom. A year is 365 days. Okay, now I need to break down a day. So day is going to go on the bottom. That's 24 hours. Okay, then I'm going to break that down. So I need an hour on the bottom. I can break down an hour. An hour is 60 minutes. Okay, then I can break down a minute. And a minute is 60 seconds. Okay, so then I'm going to take 0.079 times 365 times 24 times 60 and times 60 and divide it by 1, since these are all 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. And I'm going to get 2,491,344 seconds. All right. Last thing I'm going to show you for today is there is a sheet that you have that says Dimensional Analysis Practice on the top. And I'm going to show you the website so you know how to work this. What you're going to do is you're going to go to Schoology on your computer. You're going to click on Earth Science, and it says Dimensional Analysis Practice. It is not going to open in Schoology. We're going to press the little box with the arrow to open it in a new window. Okay. If my directions were confusing and you want more information on how to do conversions, this Learn section is a great tool and it will walk you through a couple more conversions. You are responsible for doing the one-step practice and the multi-step practice. Okay. You're going to see there's 10 problems in each and they're all laid out on your paper. We're going to do one-step practice number 1 together on your paper. Now you can see that you're going to write down the completed problem and what it looks like and cancel units that cancel and circle the unit that doesn't cancel. And it says write down the answer to the problem. Okay, so I'm going to go to one-step practice number 1. This is pretty cool. It helps me to figure this out. So it says I'm trying to figure out how many kilograms are in 1,640 grams. So I have grams here. Here's my conversion. I'm going to put grams on the bottom because I want those to cancel out. And I'm going to put kilograms on top, and slick, the computer even calculates it for me. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for number 2 and number 3. When I get to number 4, I'm going to keep going with these one-step practices, but I just have to write my answer. Make sure you put the units. Okay. Then when you get to 10, you're going to set up these lines here. We call these the railroad tracks, and solve it on your paper. If you flip your paper over, on the back, you're going to do some multi-step practice. There are 10 of these. We're going to do the first one together. So we're going to go here. You can see we're going to start with 18 pounds. Now, there's lots of railroad tracks. You might not need all these boxes. You can see it has these two conversion factors, and it says I'll need both these conversion factors. Know that as you get further on these multi-step, you're going to get more conversions, and you'll even get some you don't need, so that you get better at picking out what conversions you do need. Okay, so I want to go from pounds to kilograms. So I'm going to start with pounds. So pounds has to go on the bottom. The other conversion has to go on top because they go together as a conversion unit. Okay, I want to get rid of grams. So grams is going to go on the bottom. That puts me at kilogram, which is perfect. That's what I want. And I get 8.172 kilograms. Okay, go ahead and go through the rest of the one-step practice and the multi-step practice. If you have questions about the notes or dimensional analysis, make sure you're coming and talking to me. Thanks. And I'm just going to close this up.